It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. A beautiful day for our neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this neighborhood. A neighborly day for our beauty. Would you be mine?
What's up, everybody? Welcome. Thank you for coming, showing up to this wonderfully awesome live edition of TechChucker's Brain Blast. Let me see if I can get some of this brightness fixed here. We don't need me looking as pasty white as I naturally do. Can you guys hear me? Anybody hear me? I'm hoping you can hear me. I'll put it in the chat. Can you hear me? I make sure. I think I tested everything out. Ah, yes. Thank you, Robert. Thank you. Hey, Big John. You can hear me too? Awesome. This is obviously my first time ever doing this, so bear with me. We're going to go ahead and have a little bit of fun tonight. Don't mind me. I'm going to go ahead and get some of the creative juice going. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get my face to be not quite so washed out, but that's okay. You're not going to be looking at my face all that much anyway. So for those of you that maybe don't know what it is that I'm doing here tonight, we're going to do a little diorama demonstration. I've done an instructional video on this particular technique before, but I thought, you know what? Let's go ahead and do a live stream of it, since I got to do it anyway. So we are going to put the, I can talk to you guys through the window. We're going to put some grout or mortar in between these bricks. A lot of the dios that I do and other people do just do the black wash, and that looks really awesome. But we are going to add to this and make this a little bit, we're just going to make it pop a little bit more. So without wasting any more time of me blabbing along, because I have zero script, I have a couple of notes, but I'm probably not really going to use them. We'll see. Yes, this is Daredevil's house. It is. So we are going to go ahead and get started with this sucker right away. First off, how do you guys like my artwork? I don't know. I like it. But that's because I did it. That is, for anybody that's not really understanding or sure of what this is a T C for Chucker Brain Blast, or Brain Blast. Whatever, it was my own. Alrighty, so I figured everybody else has all these really cool logos for their YouTube channels, and I thought, well, dude, I gotta have something, right? So that is what I did. All right, so first things first, we're actually going to set this aside to start with. We need to talk some supplies, and first we need to talk prep, because the prep work is extraordinarily important that you guys do. I'm sorry, I'm looking to my right because I actually see myself. Let's minimize that so I look at the camera. I'm talking to you guys. So actually I need that so that I can focus. Sorry. So basically, after you do your dry brush, or you're going to do your black wash, then your dry brush. I've got instructional videos on that. I'll put a link in the description after this is all uploaded to all of my playlist of tutorials that I've done thus far. Just a word of note or caution, I am not an expert on any of this. These are just things that I have learned and seem to work for me. So take it or leave it, use at your own risk. But basically do your black wash, do your dry brush, and then you need to use a clear coat of some sort. And I use this, which up until this afternoon, it worked great. And then, see if I can block some of the light. It's an acrylic clear matte finish. And it works great. The reason that you want that is you need to be able to make sure that when you're putting the grout on or the mortar on, it doesn't start eating away at your paint, because what we're going to use is actually water-based, and your paint is water-based, so it's going to start basically dissolving your paint, and then your paint mixes in with the mortar, and then your mortar becomes the color of whatever your paint was. And if you do it too much, and if you overwork it too much, now all your paint's gone and you see the foam underneath it. So do this. The lesson I learned today is, even though it's an acrylic, you can't spray it on too thick. If it starts pooling, it's going to do this. It's going to start eating away. There are some acrylic sprays that aren't going to do that. I thought that the one that I had was like that. If I do super, super thin coats, it doesn't do it. I was trying to get into my window wells, and of course, whatever. But I can still use this to make it look kind of worn, so no biggie. All right, so we're going to prep our mortar. So the mortar we're going to use, boy, that light is really hot, isn't it? See if I can bring this down. Bring the mood down. Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, so what I am using, where did I put my bucket? Oh, sorry, it's on the table. I'll get it. Okay, so I am using just regular old sheetrock mud. Stuff you can get at any Lowe's, Home Depot, or Menards, or whatever, Ace Hardware. Mine is the slightly more expensive stuff. I don't remember. It's the one with dust control. I didn't get that specifically for the purposes of, having this for the diorama stuff. I simply did it. I got that because I finished my basement myself. So I had a bunch of it left over. You can get the small little tubs, the little fix-it patch things, if that's all you need. I put way more than I needed in this little cup, but that's because I didn't want to run out while I was doing this. So, but what I'm going to do before, let me check and see if there's any questions. Oh, George, I'm not probably going to give you your money back there, buddy. Alrighty, so before I get started with it, if you're anywhere familiar with sheetrock mud, when it dries stark white. And I don't want my my mortar to be stark white. I want it to be a little bit gray like it normally would be. So I just take some acrylic black paint, nothing special, and I put a little bit in with this, and that grays it out just a little bit. So I don't put a whole lot in. Hopefully you can see. Zoomer in. All right. I don't know why this is interesting to you, but apparently I think it is. I'm not putting a whole heck of a lot in because I don't want it too dark. All right, and we're going to mix it up. The reason you don't want to put too much in, you can see it looks pretty dark right now, but I haven't really gotten it down deep into the brunt of this stuff. I should have done this before I went live. There's a lot of stuff I should have done before I went live. Probably go to the bathroom. That's one thing I should have done before I went live, right? No? I'll just go while we're on camera. Alrighty, so how was everybody's weekend going? Mine went really good. I finally went on a action figure hunt today. I took Oliver, my 2-year-old. We went to Toys R Us, and he got extraordinarily pissed at me. And then we went to Target, and we found absolutely nothing at Target, which was a bummer. Here I've been hearing about other people finding stuff at Target and whatnot. And then nothing. All right, let's zoom back out. You know what we might do? I think I'm going to move this light just a little bit further away. That way then it's not so hot on everything. So we can not see it so flushed out. All right, we're gonna see if that does me a little better. We can bring this up a little bit. That's looking a little better. There we go. Look at that rock star. All right. So yeah, I probably will aim it down on the project once we'll just see what it looks like right now. Yeah, I'm getting some shadows. Once we're ready for that, I will do that and aim it down a little bit more. Screw it. Let's do it now. Sorry. All right, well, we'll just deal with the lighting as it is. So here we go. Mud project. So what we're going to do is take a drink and some of the other tools that you're going to need. You probably need like a little mud putty knife. Something, probably should have something a little smaller than this, but I'm going to use this to spread it on. And then I've got this cool little special tool, which is actually a sculpting tool that I bought years ago and never used, and then I discovered it again, and hey, cool, it works great. I'm going to use this to scrape some of this off. But this is really a very, very easy thing. You're going to need a lot of paper towel. So, sorry, I needed that drink. So make sure you've got plenty of paper towel on hand or some sort of toweling to wipe off the excess. And you're going to need some water. And I've got a little bucket of water because you want to be able to rub it off. You're going to want to be able to rub the excess off with some sort of damp cloth. I just use paper towel because it's cheap and readily available. So I'm going to get that somewhat damp. I don't want it super wet. And here we go. This is actually a fairly quick process. Let's bring this in. And focus that sucker up. And I will do it upside down so you guys can see from top to bottom what we got. So basically, I'm just going to take a little bit of this mud, and now I do this diagonally so that I'm not ever actually, I don't want to go straight on when I put this in. I don't want to go like this or straight on like this, because you might catch an edge and pull it and rip some of your bricks. And you do not want that. And essentially, this is the exact same process as, say, grouting a tile floor, only considerably smaller scale. And by considerably smaller scale, I mean exactly 1/12 scale. Yeah. All right. So basically, if you do it right, you know what? I'm probably not even going to need this sucker. It's too big. You're going to want to do small sections at a time. But you're just working that mud into the lines, the grooves. Don't overwork it. You don't need to get it perfect. Just like with actual grouting of tile, you don't need to overwork that grout, because when you come back over it with your wet towel, it will smooth out a lot of that. So one of the reasons that I use this is for some of these indented deals, I like to kind of pull some of that out first. That way then I can make sure it all comes out. And if you notice that some of the crack isn't filled, just go ahead and fill that sucker in. And then pull out the excess. See, that one didn't get it all. So I wonder, how many do we got on here? I don't even know. I hope you guys don't mind. I am interested and I want to find out who all's on. Let me see. Oh, I think I already had it open. Huh. Yay! Okay. That's like 4 more than I had on my test. Alrighty, folks. Here we go. Folks. I know all of you. Or at least I know most all of you. Robert and George. All right. Okay. I'm wasting time. I've got dead air. Can't have that. All right, so I'm basically just going to wipe this off. And like I said, you don't want this sitting on here too long. Even though we sealed this, there's still a chance that this stuff could start wearing away some of that paint. You do not want that. Yeah, George, you caught me with the rubbing one off. Maybe I said that on purpose. I don't even know what kind of delay is on the video. My first test, there was a huge delay, and it was really weird. And the quality of my video was terrible. How's the quality, you guys? I'm hoping it's okay. So my original hope was that I was going to be able to do an actual Google Hangout where you guys could also video chat in and we could just talk. We can do that. We can do that using this, but I think I can only do 10. I can only invite 10 of you guys. which would be pretty sweet for, you know, the syndicate folks to be able to, I mean, there'd be, not everybody would be able to have a video feed in, but then everyone else could go ahead and chat in. I was talking to Cynthia Nerd about that on Facebook. I don't know that I told him about the 10-person max at the time. So, but I'm pretty confident he is able to manage figuring that out without my help, because he seems to be doing pretty darn good with his technology stuff. All right. So the thing that's a little bit disconcerting at first when you're doing this is this looks really gray, and you also get a lot of film on your bricks. And actually it turns out really, really cool, because when it does, it doesn't dry as gray. It actually lightens up, so long as you don't put too much black into your mud, and then you get a really, really cool kind of whitish film that shows up, and it just makes your project really pop, which is really cool. I was thinking that this was going to go a lot faster. I forgot how long it takes. So one thing I'm glad is I'm not the only one who is totally cool with staying in on a Saturday night. Not saying any of us are uncool, because we are not. So what I'm saying is we are super cool. We're the coolest. We're like crime fighters or something. We don't need all these jokers out partying, whooping it up. I don't know. I'm just yammering on. So one thing with the cracks, these smaller cracks are a little harder to prevent from being filled in. So I'm just going to pull a little bit of that out. And what I'll probably do once this dries is I will come back with a little bit of black, and I'll fill that in just a tiny bit. Not a lot, just because I want those cracks to not be, you know, grouted in, because that wouldn't look quite right now, would it? And if you start seeing that you are spreading your mud around too much, means that your paper towel is too full and you need a new one, a clean one. You want to make sure that you get all the excess, as much as you can, off before that starts drying. Okay, so next step, I wanted to talk about what do we do about trying to avoid certain areas, such as this. It's very easy, but you need some more tools. And by tools, I mean cardboard crap. This is some balanced brakes, Sargento stuff. So basically, all you need to do is take this, zoom your camera in, bam, and let's focus. Uh-oh, my camera's flashing. Did I just lose the camera feed? I think I did. All right, can you guys hear me? You are the coolest. You can still hear me? All right, I lost my camera. Can you still see? You probably can't. All right. Okay, you're probably gonna stop hearing me for a moment. Which one's my camera? kind I am. And at some point, I should be able to start hearing myself. It will. Kind I am. There we go. And at some point, I should be able to start hearing myself. Perfect. It will. Okay. Can you still hear me? Okay. And I think we're here. Crap. My stupid speakers keep giving me problems. Alrighty. So it's showing that I've got audio. I muted myself. Let me know as I'm typing if you can still hear me. This isn't going technically the way that it should, but that's okay. It is what it is, right? I'm going to continue. So hopefully you can hear me. You should be able to hear me. No, it's not drying on me. It'll be fine. So, but basically, before I take this screen down, this is what it will look like when it's done, assuming everything goes as you anticipated it to. So I'm going to get us back to video, and we should be able to finish this up. And diorama art, we are going to check back on this. So the nice thing is, because this is all water-based, you can let it dry a little bit and come back and wipe it clean and not worry too much about it. But like I said before, you do not want to overwork it. Otherwise, you will start working through your clear coat and start wearing away your paint, which you do not want to do. The other thing you want to do, if you're using these deals, paper towels, don't overuse these either, because they'll start leaving residue, little pellet things laying around. So yeah, it is messy. I'm trying to be careful, but I don't usually worry too much about it. So I'm going to try and get these little indented ones cleaned out before I move on, because I don't want that drying with too much crap in there. How many of you who are watching have done a technique like this? I saw, Robert, you still like the darker version, which I totally understand that, because there's certain instances where the dark is a lot better, especially if you're going for that older, darker, danker look. Like if I were to do a subway or a, say like a sewer for like the turtles or something, I would totally not do this and just leave the dark. I'm assuming that's what you mean, is just leaving it like this. Wrong way. Nope. I was going the right way. This way. Yeah, those blue shop towels will work well. A little spendier. Robert, are you saying that the darker looks more like his apartment? Yeah. So I was looking, when I was doing my research on this, and I mean, technically there is the grout on that. It's just the lighting in the show is really dark. It's really hard to see it. So let me see if I can find it here. I've got kind of the pictures that I've been working off of for this particular project. See if I can find it. Daredevil apartment. No. Oh, those are just my progress pics. Shoot. He should be in here. Daredevil apartment. There we go. So let's see if I can, I'm just going to find a, here we go. Here's a good pic. I'm going to show you essentially what I'm using, part of what I'm using as a kind of my, what I'm basing this off of, at least for the brick look. I'm not trying to prove that I'm right or anything. I'm just showing this is what it was really hard to find. It was really hard to find any pictures because everything was so dark in all these. So I'll just show you. This is essentially what I used as the windows for the back. And I don't know, I think I got pretty darn close. I'll get the actual window that I made. I'm coming back, I didn't leave. I had to go grab this stuff. So there's what they have. And here is what I did. So I made 2 of these, and they will go, grab this piece here. They slide right in, right like that. I haven't glued down the actual webbing piece here. So basically this is just 2 pieces of CD case, and all right, Robert, I'll send it to you. But basically I took these are just CD cases, and I roughed them up a little bit, and then I took some paint and painted it up a little. And well, actually I put this on first, and then I painted, so that way then I could get kind of that I don't know, that natural look. And yeah, I had to do 2 of those. I actually think that they turned out pretty darn good. So this grating or webbing or whatever the heck this is called, this is just like a granola bar box that I cut out. Turned out pretty darn good. So there's, if I can get this to focus, let me grab my focuser. Get this out of the way. All right, see if you can see that. So you can see there's a little bit of extra detail tried to throw in there. Yeah, turned out decent. It sucked. It took me forever to do these stupid things. And then I have to keep taking them out and putting them back in every single time. So whatever, it is what it is. It was fun, and it will look pretty darn good once it's all done, I imagine. So essentially, this is it. This is the process. It's really easy. I think I had asked if anybody else had done this before. But it just gives you one more option for some unique look and feel. I'm going to come back in after this dries, and I'm going to weather all of this. Basically just a little bit of black, because it's an interior and it's where somebody's actually actively living. I'm not going to do any like mold or anything like that, because I would hope, even though he's blind, he's still going to keep his house clean to as much as possible. All right, so diorama art you have, awesome. Any chance you can, probably not in the comments, you probably can't share a pic. I'd love to see a picture. If you haven't already followed me on Instagram, I would love to see other people's projects, because I'm still I'm still in the process of learning all of this stuff. And I learned from everybody else. I've learned a lot on the Diostructure Facebook page. And I'm a very visual person. And so if I can see it, I most likely can figure out how to do it. Not always, most of the time. But yeah, if you're on Instagram, let me know in the comments. I'd love to see some of your work. Anybody's work. I'd love to see your collections as well. Next time, we got to figure out a way of making this even more interactive. Invite folks to be able to do their own video feed, and we can just have a chat and just talk and have some fun. Because I don't know about you guys, you've stuck around. I've had fun. I've learned a lot. I've learned that my computer likes to just shut my camera off and my audio off, which is really awesome. And I've learned that there are some pretty awesome people out there who are sticking around. And okay, you're with the Diostructure group. Yes. No, I'll need to find you. So on Diostructure, I comment as Matt Anderson. But you can find me on Instagram at TechChucker's Brain Blast. And that's probably the easiest way to contact me. Otherwise, through my YouTube channel, also, which is TechChucker's Brain Blast. So it is coming up closer to 10 o'clock my time. I'm just going to go ahead and keep working on this. And maybe I'll just say some snarky comments or something. Because, like I told George, I didn't have a whole lot planned for a script. And I'm, so in my work, I work in technology, hence the Tech Chucker portion of my name. I used to be the IT director at a school district just outside of the Rochester, Minnesota town that I live in now. So I was the IT director there, which, if any of you are familiar with public education and public technology in public education, you basically are a jack of all trades. You don't have a full staff like, say, a large Fortune 500 company, or like the company that I work for now, which is the Mayo Clinic. So I had to learn a lot about different technology, and I also had to do a lot of public speaking. Well, thank you, Robert. You like this. So I've done a lot of public speaking. The thing about this format that I don't like is I can't see your faces. And not being able to see your faces, I can't see if I'm hitting, missing, or if I've got a booger on my nose. So I'm not saying that I'm an awesome public speaker, but I don't usually get nervous about it, is what I'm really getting at. This I got nervous about because I've done trainings at Mayo where there's been several hundred people, and I've done virtual trainings that are basically like this, except I don't get to see myself. And it's so difficult because you just get no feedback. I'm at least getting feedback on the chat, and I very much appreciate that, you guys. Even if the feedback is delayed because of the video feed. It's very helpful for somebody who likes to claim that they're fairly comfortable with public speaking. I like being able to have that interaction and see if those listening are following along. Like, I don't know, you can kind of tell when people have a question. You can see that glazed over look on their faces. You can see if people are bored. You can tell right away if you're blabbing on and rambling like I am now. And so then you can take those cues and you can move on. The latest training that I did was, I don't know if you guys even care about this, but I got nothing else to talk about. The latest training, my work a couple of weeks ago sent me down to the Arizona branch clinic, and I did a training. It was fairly small, only about 20 some folks, but it was so funny. I think there was 2 people that literally fell asleep. I get it. I'm not the most interesting person. I was in person. I've never seen somebody fall asleep in person at one of my own training classes. So that was funny. I thought about yelling or doing something, but it's Mayo. That wouldn't be within the proper etiquette of my company. Not that I have followed proper etiquette in everything at my place of work. Heck, just having my action figure collection at work technically is probably not following the rules. So I'm a rebel. The most passive-aggressive style, I guess. All right. So you're the IT for the Mayo Clinic. Where are you training them on? All right. School district. Okay, cool. Okay, so diorama art. I am one of about 2,000 IT people at Mayo. I'm based in Rochester, Minnesota. So there are a lot of folks. And I'm in the operations side of IT, and I manage the SharePoint collaborative tools environment. So I don't know what your experience level is in that, but basically SharePoint is a Microsoft product. It's basically a web tool or a website to a certain degree. And it is a method that our users use to collaborate on content. And so it is a small department with a very large charge, if you will. So there are 2 of us that support the environment, multiple environments for the entire institution. And the institution has about 63,000 staff, and then probably another 10,000 or so contract staff. And then however many affiliate, which we don't necessarily, I don't deal with a whole lot of the affiliates too much. But so in Arizona, I was training on SharePoint best practices and yada, yada, yada. So I can totally understand why people would fall asleep. All right, so what do we got here? Robert says, one of my best friends works here in the tech department for the school district. Oh, cool. If you want to share, Robert, where you're from, that would be cool, but I can certainly find out later. He makes great bank doing it. Yeah, I didn't make a lot of money at my school. I will say when I left Mayo, or when I left the school, I got a pretty good bump in pay immediately after leaving the school. And then within a year, I got another bump because the way that Mayo had actually done the job. I was apparently overqualified, and they decided that they would actually rectify that. And then I've been promoted. And then I took a whole new job, and then I got promoted within that job, and that is where I'm at now. So I was not making bank at that school, which was a big reason. Actually, that wasn't the reason I left. I didn't leave because of the money. I left because I was working 60 to 80 hours a week. And my wife didn't appreciate that too much. And I didn't blame her. And Robert, you're a tile contractor. So this stuff is like, this would be simple stuff for you. You're probably looking at me when I was talking about the tile stuff and be like, well, those things that you're doing are completely wrong and nobody would do that. And so I'll have to check the comments and see if you corrected any of my tile talk. Yeah, right up your alley. Yeah, that would make complete sense now. All right, so one of the other things that I probably should know, and I've probably talked about this. So number one, I'm the slowest diorama worker there is. There's some guys on the Diostructure page that I'm just amazed at how quickly they are putting stuff out. I mean, it's ridiculous how quickly they work. And I can't do that. And that's why, well, because I'm new, I'm still figuring stuff out. And I don't really want to, do like a cookie cutter. I'm doing the same thing every single time. Not that they are. I'm just saying I don't want to do the same thing each time. And so it takes me forever to get anything done. And where was I going with that? Oh, yeah. So I've been working on this project forever. So you guys have probably heard me talk about it a billion times, if not more. But the idea with this is that it'll actually be fully reversible. And this side, once I finish this up, this side's actually going to be the Daredevil. If you remember the scene where he's in the hall and he kicks the crap out of all those guys, that's kind of going to be the theme or the style of the design, the color. It's going to be that two-tone color design. So it'll be the darker green on the bottom and the cream kind of on the top. And I just need to figure out how I'm going to weather all of this. So basically I've got this set up so that I can reverse this whole thing, and maybe I'll show you that once I'm done with this part. And since it's coming up on 10 p.m. right now, I'll clean this part up, and then we'll go ahead and finish up, and I'll let you guys have the rest of your evening to do whatever it is you do when you're not watching me, which is go to my channel and watch the rest of my videos, right? Now, because you've already seen them. I just can't believe I still have any of you guys watching. Pretty stoked. So Robert, you think that I should do this again? What does anybody else think? Should I do this again? I'll just say I'm going to do it again. One of the ideas that I had for my next live feed is actually going to be, I was going to do a live feed on just part of my stop motion project. I'm getting close to the final scenes or recording, and I thought, you know what? I don't know. Maybe it'd be kind of cool to film that last portion. You guys can see live what I'm doing. There again, with the stop motion, I am a noob. I've been dabbling in stop motion for the better half of, well, I've played around with it for 15 years, but I only really started getting into it more this year and last year. So I don't have a huge amount of work to show for all of that, but it's kind of one of those hobbies, just like the dios. The dios are a hobby that I've got, and I've got the action figure stuff and the YouTube and all that stuff, and it's just fun. And I'm more than blessed to be able to do all of this stuff, and my wife hasn't thrown me out of the house for anything that I do. So, and I know the mantra with collectors is, well, I could be out smoking crack. Do you smoke crack? Wow, this is just like, I don't know any of that stuff. I'm such a goody two shoes. I don't even know if you smoke crack or what you do with it. But I'm pretty hardened. I'm not ashamed to admit that I haven't experienced a huge amount when it comes to that sort of stuff. And you know what? I'm glad. I'm very glad. I'm very blessed that my family was away from that stuff. Okay, what do we got? Well, Robert, if you've liked the stop motion stuff that I've got lately, you are going to, well, we'll see. You'll maybe really enjoy the next, because this latest project, it is my biggest project to date ever. And it is, I've talked about it several times, I think, and I've been putting updates on my Instagram quite a bit about it, because I had my daughters write the script. And I was so proud of them. My daughters are 8 and 5. And with a little bit of, help from Dad, we came up with a script that relatively made sense. And they recorded the lines. And I don't know, it was really a really cool experience to be able to share that with my girls. And I can't wait to be able to get that thing published so that everybody can see. And yeah, it was not, it is not at all my typical style, because, well, number one, I'm using my daughter's Ever After High dolls, and they are really, really weird, and they're very hard to work with because they don't stand on their own. They suck big time. And so yeah, it was definitely a new experience for me, and it was super fun. And yeah, I'm really excited to be able to finally get that out. I don't know when it will be coming out, because if you think I work slow on dioramas, I work very slow on stop motion, and stop motion is a slow process anyway. And I was not expecting, when my daughters created their little story, that their little story was going to be as complex as it wound up being. And it's not a very complex story, is the thing. It's because Dad doesn't know that much about this stuff, so it takes a long time to figure out, how am I going to do it, how am I going to get the shots just right. So that'll be coming out soon. Well, soon, I shouldn't say that. It'll be coming out. All right, we gotta scrape this off. Oh yeah, Diorama art, you are right. I do my grout slow. Some of it is because I'm trying to think about what I'm going to say. I would normally have gone a little bit faster, but because I'm trying to not bore you guys completely by just having dead air, I am going a little slower. Actually, I'm going a lot slower than I normally would. So, Robert, does your son have a channel that he does any of the stop motion stuff with? Cool. So if you want to share that, I'd love to check that out. And plus, if any of you guys, so I got 6 viewers. Awesome, 6 viewers. So actually, I think one of those viewers is probably one of my browsers. If any of you guys have channels, throw them in the comments, in the chat, because so I should probably do some shout outs to some folks that have been more than supportive of me and my channel. So the folks within the syndicate, which is on Facebook, if you aren't a member of the syndicate, which I'm just assuming everybody here already is, because it's an awesome group. But there's just a ton of really awesome folks on that group, and some of the one guy who was the reason that I started doing action figure hunts, D-Bag Robot Gang. He is part of the syndicate, and that was really what set me going with my channel a lot more. And I mean, I don't do a lot of action figure hunts. I am blessed with enough money for my family, but I am maybe not as blessed to be able to afford to buy as many action figures on a weekly or monthly basis as some of the other folks, and that is totally okay. I would never recommend that anybody try to keep up with anybody else's hunts, or the hunt, spending that amount of money. If you can't do it, you can't do it. But D-Bag is the one that really kind of encouraged me to start recording my hunts, and it makes the hunting so much more fun. So he is one who deserves a shout out. Rube the Great is another one who definitely deserves a shout out. He's just an overall, just a wonderful human being. He's just a really cool person. And I cannot and will not forget about George, Plastic Addict. He is also, everybody is just, they're all just amazing people. Those are kind of the 3 of the syndicate who have really, I've communicated with quite a bit. And, they're all just really fun people. They all have YouTube channels, obviously, since they're with the syndicate. And then the Diostructure group is another group that I really love. Alex, I think it's, oh gosh, if I say it wrong, he's not watching, so that's good. But Alex Saavedra or something like that. He's kind of like the godfather of dioramas, as far as I'm concerned. He does a lot of live feeds direct in Facebook, and I've learned a lot just from watching him and checking out his stuff. There is a guy, I think his name is Manfred something. Oh man, he does some pretty amazing stuff. Oh, You're right, Robert. There is, if you're saying the crazy amount that just came out, if you're talking about the crazy amount of YouTube channels and whatnot, I'm amazed how many people have started their own channels. I started actually, seriously doing my channel in September of this year, and I'm almost at 350 subs, which I still don't understand why people would want to watch me regularly. But I stopped asking that question because I can't answer it. People are just awesome, and they support each other. And I don't know. I've never been a big community family kind of guy out on the internet, and these guys are, especially in the syndicate. And you know what? It's infectious, and it's fun. And there's nothing negative about anything that they do. They just make it fun. So. Yeah, it's really cool. There's just so many people in that group. I don't know. That is what I got to say about that. Oh, toys that came out. Yes, there is a lot of crap that just came out for new action figures. Either luckily or not, nothing has really come out in my town yet. Which that's good for my wallet, and I'm fine with that. I've mentioned this before. I'm kind of reducing the amount of focus I'm putting on Marvel Legends. I want to try to just stick to the ones that I absolutely must have, the characters that I really need to have, because there's just so many good figures out there, and so many figures that are, even better quality that I want to experience. And, I have not gotten any SH Figure Arts figures yet, but I am hoping to fairly soon pick up at least one of the Figure Arts Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles very soon. So I'm excited about that. So yeah, I'm planning on holding off on buying the Legends. I'm playing the long game on the Legends to hopefully be able to get them at much lower cost. I loved it over the Christmas holiday when pretty much everything went down to like $10. That was awesome. I didn't get everything I wanted, but I sure got a heck of a lot. A lot more than I was planning, because I was not planning on getting that Space Venom wave, and that actually turned out to be a really good wave. I like those figures. I mean, the simplicity of some of the Marvel Legends does get a little bit on my nerves, but I get past it pretty darn quickly when they drop the prices down to like $10. Then it's like, okay, well, I can grab those. All right, let's get this before it dries. So I've kept you guys a lot longer than I was planning. And I figured I'm just maybe going to keep going until I drop down to 0. So don't feel obligated to stick around, but do stick around if you're enjoying it. And have a drink on me. But don't send me the bill. Seriously, don't send me the bill. Some people drink some really expensive stuff. I like nice beer. Beer typically is never going to break the bank. Well, unless you're drinking way more than you should. And I do not recommend that Do not condone that. I do not condone anybody drinking under the limit, whatever the legal age is. Hopefully I have fulfilled my legal obligations. Do not drink and drive. Do not swim for 30 minutes after you've eaten. What else is there? Don't make bad choices. I don't know. So, I don't know if I saw in the comments. Would it be of interest if I did a live episode doing the stop motion? Because I'm seriously thinking about it, because I mean, I can be the first to admit this live session. I know this isn't, this is not the most amazing live show episode something or other that has ever been put out. I never expected it to be, but it was fun. I'm having fun talking to myself, talking to you guys. But yeah, would that be of interest? I mean, I try not to keep it, or I try to make it not be boring, because I mean, stop motion can seem very boring. I might do, might keep it to the 1 hour, but I'll pose that question after, and also, and we'll just see what the heck. Worst case scenario, I do it and nobody watches, right? Yeah, I think I need to get some of those blue paper towels. These just aren't very good. Now, son, I did sound like a father figure, didn't I? I think that is probably the easiest part for me to play. Big John is the father figure, as that is, I've got 3 little ones here. Luckily, they have all stayed asleep thus far. Yes, I'm very good at telling my children what to do and then waiting for them to not listen. Okay, I'm overworking that. Okay, so, hey, Marvel section. Welcome. Blue is the way to go. Yeah, I think you're right. Shoots, Big John. Shoots. Where's that? What is it? Is that? I've never heard that before. I've never heard anybody use that, but I like it. I always feel when I say things that other people say, when other people say it, they sound really cool. I sound like a complete dweeb when I say them. So I stick to my non-cool things that I say. But I love it when other people have really cool things that they say. Should we put this thing together? I'll finish this later because I'm really slow at this. But let's put this thing together. I just kind of want to show you what it looks like all together. Where did I put my floor? I've got my floor for this. Oh, my floor is right here. Sorry. All right, so here's my floor. This is my first time ever doing a wood floor, and I thought it turned out pretty decent. Give you a bit of a close-up. Let me find my zoom, or not my zoom, my focus. I'll bring this in. So I thought this turned out pretty darn good for being my first go at a wood floor. But it turned out okay. All right, so floor. And then we'll put, let's put that back wall on first. So basically, bang, this is fully magnetized. Let's put these windows back in. And I marked them, which one is left and right. And that's based on what I'm looking at. Actually, let me show you the reverse. So it works fully reversed, should work fully reversed. Like so. The only thing that I need to figure out is right now there is nothing that is holding this wall. And, you know, I could probably do some more magnets and then that'd be fine. So that's probably what I'll do. But basically I can just go ahead and put my windows in. This was supposed to be left, so we'll put it right like so. Maybe it was supposed to go in this way. Ah, it's falling apart. Yeah, I still need to glue this on. So, well, anyway, that's what that's going to look like. The door will go here. And then it will slide like so. But let's put it together the way that it's primarily going to be, which is like so. Oh, and then I go and get crap. I should have wiped that. Lesson learned. Make sure that all of your edges are wiped down before you start putting stuff together. Luckily, that was on a surface that no one will see. Problem solved. Oh, boom. So that means that this is the one that's got all the crap on it. Yes. Stupid mistake. Okay, so I also do have another feature with this that I am planning on using. So these little holes that you see are mounting holes for 3 timbers that are going to go across. And I still haven't finished painting them, and there's a little bit more work to do with the mounting aspect of it, but I'll show you what that's kind of look like. So this is the left, that'd be over here. But wait, no, that goes on this side. Sorry, this is slow. Everything I do is slow. You guys will just have to bear with me. Well, we still got 6 of you. Well, 5 of you. Keep forgetting that one of those at a minimum is my own machine. Just put them in the right spot. I'm not used to assembling this from behind. All right, boom. Door, and actually I'm not going to put the door in because I don't remember where I put it. But I also made these little props, little movie posters that'll go up here. I've already posted those up before, but we got our major timbers that are going to go up here. So these still need a little bit more paint on them, but they are going to go here, and there will be some metal brackets that'll go there. And that way then that closes in these gaps that I've got. Otherwise they wouldn't be long enough. So that is essentially, my light's pretty bad, but that's okay. Bring the brightness up just a little. Move the camera. So bring this down just a little. So yeah, that's essentially what this thing's going to look like to a certain degree. I still have to weather it. I still have to put props up. I still have to do a whole boatload of stuff. So I've got a lot of work to do on this thing, but it is coming along. Yeah, diorama art, you've quite possibly seen. I've posted this thing probably a million times on the Dio Structure page. I try not to do it too often and too much because, you know, it gets a little old to keep seeing the same project getting posted over and over and over and over, and very little progress being shown for it. So, but yeah, there's a good possibility you've seen it before. So, alrighty. Oh, did I lose my video? I did. I think I lost my audio. No.